Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Rafa Esparza, coming back to you live. In case you missed any of the action, don't worry, you're with us again right now. We are watching UFC Vegas 5, aka UFC, headlined by one Edmund Chazarian and Derek Brunson. Also tonight, we've got Joanne Calderwood and Jennifer Maya, Vincent Loke, Randy Brown, Lando Venata, who is very excited for one young G-baby to get excited about, versus Bobby Green, and Kevin Holland versus Trevin Giles. So that is what we have on deck for you this evening. Hit us with some comments, hit us with some concerns, questions, all of that good jazz. We're going to walk you through all of this evening's festivities. So stoked you could join us. And joining us again will be one G-baby is not funny. In just a second, we'll bring him back on in. Boom, go live with him, add on to the show, and guess what? He is back, everybody.
Hey.
Better than ever, as these guys do what we like to call in the industry as vamping, aka stalling, until they are ready to come back on. And Paul Felder is doing the world's worst punching at the camera anybody has ever seen.
You know what's funny? I accidentally unplugged my computer that I was watching the fights with, thinking it was the laptop. And now I have to restart it.
It's okay. This is the time to reset it. Maybe now it could go a little bit faster. Maybe it'll be a whole minute in front of me. Who knows, friend? What is up, Grapplers Life? Good to see you, bud. Always happy when you stop by and say hello to us. We're watching it live on the ESPNs, but I hope you guys are coming with comments because we're keeping things exciting. Cody North. Was your brother named Devin South? Boom. Roasted. Got it.
Watch out, Adam.
Yeah, I know. Adam Hunter, he really has to always look beyond. I have to say this, though. Adam came on. So for every year, we used to do on our anniversary, these big anniversary shows where I would give people the opportunity to leave us a message. And I called him up one day and I said, hey, man, would you mind leaving us like a happy anniversary message? And he's like, well, what do you want? I was like, I don't want you to do real compliments. I want you to roast us. And he said, are you sure? And I was like, absolutely, we can take it. And he did, and it was glorious. It's one of my favorite things over here. Cody Norris says, great dope, Jad. Okay, well, womp womp. I would tell you this much. Good. Let me ask you, how much did you pay for that joke, Cody? Because you get what you pay for, my friend. Either way, glad you are here. I would tell you this, though. This is a very interesting night of fights. We did have to cut down one fight. We only have 9 fights total, but right now on this main telecast, there will be 5 main fights. And I know that they're previewing the main event, but you have one in particular that you are most excited about. Do you mind telling us about that?
Yeah, it would be Lando Venata versus Bobby Green. That's going to be a very exciting fight. I think it's going to be very technical for sure because Bobby Green is really technical on his feet and on the ground. That last Clay Guida fight was exciting for me because I love Clay Guida, especially I think it is his fight against Diego Sanchez that got me really into MMA. So when I saw Bobby Green, but then I see Lando Venata, especially after he fought Tony Ferguson, but random fact, I guess, my first MMA coach was training partners with Lando when he was in Albuquerque while I was still in Puerto Rico.
Look at that.
Yeah, so it's really exciting to see that.
It's like my dad fought your dad back when I was in here. Yeah, it's always fun whenever I see these things because you forget that all of our coaches have lived a very long life of coaching. So every once in a while, you just kind of look at them and you go, you guys had a match against each other? And they're like, yeah, I kind of knee-barred him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah.
All of us are like, what? What happened?
It always surprises me how small like the martial arts community is.
Yeah. Well, don't forget, I mean, this is a different beast. Like fight game, jiu-jitsu game, there's always a lot of crossover. It always weirds me out, though, when people are like, I did judo with this person in this judo club. And I go, that's too much.
Yeah.
Like I'm used to people saying they did wrestling with each other and all that sort of shit. What's up, Jeffrey? What's up, Megan? Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your hearts. I will tell you this. If you give us a like and a share, we will give you guys a toast on air. I will have to get another beer in a second, and I will make that happen. But I promise you, we are good on those things. Oh. My wife is the most ridiculous right now.
What happened?
My wife is in the process of dyeing her hair, and she's now just model walking around. And it's really hard to keep a straight face as I'm like, nobody can see this. Oh, she did. Okay, well, good for her. Anyway, all right. First fight should be coming up shortly. We were asking what you've been doing. I will ask you, what have you been watching? Because sports aren't on every day, but what have you been watching in the meantime to get through?
So it's funny. Ever since this pandemic happened, I downloaded NBA 2K20, and I was never a basketball fan.
Yeah.
Well, I was kind of growing up. Like I always liked the Lakers since like Kobe and Shaq, but I was never really into it. But yeah, now I'm hooked, dude. I'm excited that the NBA's back. I've been into hockey. A Puerto Rican that's into hockey. That's non-existent.
Oh,
I've been into baseball again, and my parents would be like, "What?" Yeah, like any sport that's been coming up, because I feel like I've been taking it for granted. Like the simplest things in life, especially baseball. I'm just excited for sports, but I'm so glad that MMA still stayed.
Yeah. Yeah, there was some great moments throughout the past week where we're watching Major League Baseball go down with all of its faultiness and watching them be like, this person tested for the coronavirus. Who knew? And it's like, well, we can make some good guesses here. Meanwhile, the NBA is like, in the NBA bubble. And they go, they don't want you to call it the bubble. And I go, fuck them. I'm going to call it the bubble if I want.
Right, and now Bellator called it the sphere,
the fight sphere, which I was like, I under no circumstance will call that goddamn thing the fight dome or the fight sphere.
Bro, if I had a lisp, I'd be so pissed.
Yeah, that's one that Mike Tyson's like, I ain't gonna say that.
The fight sphere.
What's up, Signals? Anyway, yeah, no, that's good. I did say this, though. If they have to keep taking off all these Major League Baseball folks, what I have suggested humbly on the latest Verbal Tap is just put it into a video game. Much like you downloaded it, just have the simulation figure out what it is, because they were going to go down to win percentage. And I was like, fuck win percentage. Just show me on the video game who won. If it's good enough for 2 Sylvester Stallone movies, it's good enough for us right now.
Yeah, for real. You're not wrong.
I'm usually not. Anyway, all right, let me ask this. First off, we have already seen a share from Megan. We will give her a toast in just a second. If you guys want to give us some more hearts over on the Instagram, that would be great. Is that a heart? Is that what I'm making here? I don't know how to do this.
That's like the Wu-Tang symbol. Now it's a heart.
That's a heart, right?
That's a heart.
So give us hearts over on that side.
Is that Yamasaki who does that?
Yeah, which, by the way, don't see him anymore. So that heart's a little broken right now, just in half. If you guys are watching over on Facebook and on our YouTube, Periscope, give us all of the love. But if you give us a like and a share like Megan did, we will give you guys a toast on air. Just as a reminder. What's up, Josh? All right, I'm going to share this over. Watch the main card along with us right now. Boom. Posted.
Finally. Took forever for my computer to start back up.
Oh, good. Well, they haven't gone back on yet, so you've got a few seconds. What's up,
right
Ben?
on time.
Let me see here. Ben, is that you doing a impression of Gordon in your photo?
That is hilarious.
That's pretty funny. I think I've seen that before. That made me laugh. Good for you, kid.
Good for you, kid.
Listen, everybody to me comparatively is a child, so it's fine. So anytime I see somebody, they're like, "What do you call me a kid?" I was like, "Stop acting like one."
Bro, every time you laugh at one of my jokes, I'm like, yes.
Well, hey man, listen, it's just that at a certain point, we've been along for a long time. What's up, Christos? Look at you, bud. Hey, Christos, I know you have to be proud of Vince as well, man. What a fucking champ. Comes in 48 hours notice. Fucking beast, man. I can't beat him up, but next time you get the opportunity to train with him, beat him up for me, and then I will beat you up. I haven't figured out how that will happen, but I will bring a steel chair. I will make that happen. And, hey, UFC, get Christos a goddamn fight. I want to see him fight back in the UFC sooner than later. This man is COVID-free right now. Get him in a fight ASAP. Boom. That's my little PSA for our good friend Christos. Christos is also one of the most difficult roles there is. He's gotten so, he was always good, but he keeps getting more technical. And now that he's training with Gio Voss, oh my God.
What? Did you see
What's
about the Kevin Holland versus Trevin Giles canceled due to Giles' medical issue?
What?
Yeah, so now that's 8 fights.
So the footage is just them being backstage and everybody kind of looking somber and sad. What's the medical issue?
I don't know. And the same thing is remember Ray Borg was supposed to fight tonight and they haven't disclosed why.
Oh, that's not good. Yikes. Well,
you don't think he missed weight, did he? Again?
What are they going to reweigh him for and be like, hey, guess what? You gained 2 pounds. Though, in California, it's supposed to be after the fight. You have to stay within 10% of whatever weight you fought at.
Really?
Yeah, that's the rule. And it's kind of weird, but I get it. I am going to ask my wife if she would be so kind to bring me a beer. That would be great.
For some reason, my phone doesn't even charge.
Bring me the Joaquin Dead, yeah.
Oh, I think I found it. There we go.
So what are you looking for over there? What do you got going on your side?
So it's my phone wasn't charging, but then I just found out that the cable that's on the plug wasn't just connected. So now everything's salt.
I understand how that goes.
Yeah.
Let me say this real quick. So the beer I'm going to be drinking in just a second. I got to finish this one off. Well, it looks like I got to drink faster now because we only got 4 fucking fights. But
now's the Venata fight, man.
I know, man. I got the Joaquin Dead.
Oh, man.
The beer that I've got. Now look at this. I'll show you guys on Instagram in a second. But it is many of the roles played by one Joaquin Phoenix. Many of them super iconic and amazing. Johnny Cash with Guitar on Fire, BT Dubs. Check this out over on Instagram. The Joaquin Dead. Beautifully done. This is sent to me by my good friend Huber, who is opening up a new gym. This is a little poem that they put over here, so I'm going to go ahead and read this out to you. Here's a little story about a fellow named Joaquin, a man with many faces that have never been seen. Atop his throne, he drank beer made from yeast. Everything changed when the virus was released. Wandering the streets lonely and toasty, searching for a beer that's malty and roasty. Walking the line of the living and the dead, looking for that ice-cold Joaquin Dead Mexican Red. The last part needs a little work, but altogether, very, very good. Yep, snaps indeed. Snaps all around. Somebody has been to 100% of open mics for poetry readings in their time.
Yeah, for sure, man. I moved here from Denver. Of course, I've been to a slam poetry.
That's my favorite thing is when people used to do that, when you would go to see a live event and they would be like, they do this and they go, snaps. And I go, you're saying what you're doing.
Yeah.
We know.
I know, right?
Le bouf. So anyway, that is what is happening over on our side. Hit us up in the comment section. Let us know what you guys think about that. I mean, I can delete that.
I think my computer shut off again. Great.
Oh, no.
Why?
Well, I mean, here's the good news. That news update that they had gives us even more time that they have to fill because they're probably super pissed. I'm going to try and keep up to date on my Twitter to see if they have any more further updates on that.
That's so crazy, though.
I mean, I don't think I've seen that in a long time where people are just chilling on the side and then all of a sudden they go, oopsie daisy, no more.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
That's so weird. What the fuck are you talking about? What's up, Julian? Hey, Julian, did you listen to this week's podcast? You said you would. I'm putting you on spot now. You better have listened to it. If not, I'm going to be so mad at you. Coming to us all the way from Costa Rica? Don't know. I think that's right. If it's
It's funny.
What's up?
That Joaquin Phoenix actually was born in Puerto Rico.
Was he?
Yeah, in San Juan.
Well, that explains a lot of where the crazy comes from.
For real, man. I have not met one normal Puerto Rican.
He just nobody has, by the way. He said Colombia. Same thing.
Same thing.
I didn't, man. LOL. Sorry. What a dick. Bro, you and I are about to have words. Here I thought we vibed last week. You were enjoying our show. And you're like, I'm going to definitely check you out. You guys are pretty funny. And then nothing. Our friendship means nothing to you. Rude. You know who this toast doesn't go out to? Julian. I wanted to seem more belligerent than I really am right now. Because unfortunately, I'm not drunk enough. So.
You don't even have time to be that drunk anymore, bro.
Let me see. Ben Folks. Oh, I hope I didn't go mute on that. Okay. Sorry. Ben Folks just put up an update that just says, I think the fight gods are just trying to figure out how many new ways they can make us disappointed this year.
Thanks, Fauci.
Yeah, Fauci's 100% the one sitting back and doing it. That's one of the funnier things I am seeing about Andrew Schultz when he's doing those little, hey, turn your phone. I want to show you something videos.
Dude, I love him.
He's very funny. The whole thing is, it's like every time I see him do it, him referring to Fauci as some sort of Keebler elf is a pretty funny through line where I go, I guess that's fine. But I was like, every time I look at Andrew Sanchez, I'm like, bro, I don't know what to do with you either, bro, because you're not a looker either. You look like one of the Gary the Rat manifestations turned into a regular human being. Got him. Boom.
Got him. Boom, bro. Has the fight started yet or not yet?
Yes, they're in the process of doing the announcements.
All right, cool. I got it right on time.
Interesting.
My timing has been impeccable, bro.
Listen, dude, somebody's timing has to be good, especially when all these people keep dying.
Keep dying.
I hate the fact that all the time we just keep looking around and saying like, shit, that fight's dead. Shit, that fight died too. All right, let me go ahead and check and see on our comment section what's happening over that way. I saw 2 shares. One is from Megan. Did you do the Megan toast?
No, you did.
I did the first one, but here's one that we got to do because she shared it again. So do you mind taking this one before we start, sir?
Hey, Megan. I don't know you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've met you, but you seem really supportive, and I love that, especially in our industry. So toast to you. Thank you so much. And yeah, thank you for sharing.
Cheers. Look at that.
Boom. All right. I just got the fight
center. Excellent. Well done. And you will see you were just in time over this way. I do need to change the names on this, though. Yikes. So that was supposed to be Kevin. So on this one, we're now looking over at the next fight, which is Lando and Bobby Green. So you're getting your excitement in now.
Yeah. And then it just froze on me.
No. Yep. Okay, don't worry. We're only 45, 43, 42. We're still in an amount of time that you'll be able to catch up and nothing will have happened yet. So Venata in the green trunks, Green in the black trunks, and Venata coming in with a vengeance on Bobby Green. Connects a couple times. Nothing too crazy happening just yet over on that side. Lando now starting to absorb a couple kicks, eats them, moves forward. High kick over by Venata, who looks vicious with his connecting. He goes for a kick and then a straight right.
It always happens with the fights that I want to see.
I know, dude. I'm so sorry.
It's all good, man. It's like it happened to me with the Chimaev fight. Okay, now I see it.
There we go. All right. Welcome back. I have 350 on my time. What do you have, sir?
352, and then it froze again. Wait,
No.
348, 348, 347.
We're good. All right. We're in real time over. Ooh, Venata connects and staggers Green. Green has mountain composure, though. Look at them now. The two of them connect back over. Now this looks like it's going to be a very, very interesting fight. We may not make it to a second round on this one.
Damn, Venata's like a wizard.
You know, it's weird. There's only a slight difference in Bobby Green's composure, but that looseness that he had certainly tightened up after he got knocked in the face a little bit there.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Interesting. Eesh, nice kick to the leg. I think that's going to be the rage for the next month or so. We're just going to see oblique kicks continuously over and over again.
Who started that? John Jones?
I mean, John Jones is really good at it, but I feel like the new resurgence of it is going to be due to Bobby Knuckles.
Bobby Knuckles. I love that nickname, bro.
Bobby Knuckles. Oh, love this. Megan says, I think I'll go with Venata on this one. I mean, you're looking pretty good so far, Megan, there. I would tell you this. Bobby Knuckles sounds like somebody in a business meeting for Sonic the Hedgehog going like, what if he had a cousin named Bobby Knuckles? And they go, I know, right? Can we just call him Knuckles and split the difference? Sure, whatever, man. As long as we can put a backwards hat on him.
I know, right? Yo, my name's Bobby Knuckles. It sounds like a New Yorker thing.
Yeah, the way you made it sound like made him sound like a jazz musician. Yeah. Nice.
Like Baby Monster.
That's pretty funny. Dude, look at that, though. He caught Venata very clean there. Credit to Bobby Green. They both start to stand back up right now. Bobby Green has a leg and is just trying to usher him down to the fence area. He's starting to swarm him a little bit, going for a rear naked choke grip that just doesn't make any sense. Now gives up his back. Now his back is compromised. We're going to see Venata be able to see if he can drag him down, all the while trying to miss out on getting elbowed in the face. Now Venata responds with an uppercut of his own, and they turn back and head back over to the center. For a split second, Venata almost raised his hands as to be like, what's the deal with that? And
I know. He shrugged, right? Oh, man. I'm at 53 seconds right now, and it's just...
You have now bypassed me on the time. So somehow you were able to... Ooh! Nice. This combination by Venata is looking very clean.
I feel like he's been like leveling up big time.
Yeah. Punch over the section. You are seeing Bobby Green get a little tired on that. I will ask, did you have the headphones in on the Instagram one?
No.
Okay. Going back over on this side, Venata started to while out. The significant strikes are very similar here. Bobby Green ahead 26-24. But looking at it, you almost couldn't tell the difference between the two of them on who's ahead.
For real. Oh, man.
That's going to be a tough score.
I would hate to be a judge, man, on MMA.
I'm just not interested in it.
Me neither.
I feel like there are people who I could recommend who would be good at it, who I think take on. What's up, Keon Park? But I think there's very little reward for having any kind of those gigs.
No one actually really like, and I, because I wouldn't either. It's like compliment a judge, like, wow, that was great judging. Like, never. It's always bad judging. You're like a fast food cook in like a UFC event.
Yeah,
you're never gonna get compliments. You're always gonna get like, hey, this was wrong.
Or if they do it right, you don't really get acknowledgement, or you just go,
Yeah, like, yeah, it's supposed to be that way. Yeah.
Like we work in industries where we like people to compliment us and be like, that was funny, and you go, thank you. If we do those jobs, people are like, You didn't fuck up. Are you happy about it or are you mad? No, I'm saying you didn't fuck up. So
I'm sorry, Dad.
hey, just to let you guys know what's happening right now, we're about to kill this Instagram stream. We're going to bring on another one in just a second. So if you're on Instagram, don't go anywhere. However, it is a good time to remind you guys, if you're watching on Facebook, give us a like and a share. We'll give you a toast. But to our Instagram friends, we're going to drop this one. What's up, Vernon? Good to see you guys. Don't go anywhere. We are going to BRB. And I like that saying. Great start to the rematch between Lando, Venata, and Bobby Green already. That is coming from the Twitter sphere. We'll call it that for right now. Anyway, don't go anywhere. BRBs. Thank you guys for watching. And come back. You hear? Boom. I like that Christos dropped by. Christos is a fucking beast of a fighter, man.
Yeah, for real.
Christos also is like, man, he's just so fucking strong. Like, even when I was like, oh, I'm doing really good against him, he would just like move me out of side control and just push me out of the way. And I go, that you can't do that. That's cheating.
That's not cool, dude. The
Like,
Lakers are playing against Toronto right now, too, by the way.
They are. I am not watching that one. I am not a good California respondent, but oof. UFC Vegas 5. So talk me through what you're seeing over on your side, sir.
So right now, Bobby Green's just taunting Lando. He's been landing his punches. Lando's just doing his footwork with his head movement, which is very unorthodox. But Bobby Green has just been landing and just been taunting. I don't know if they have bad blood. Do they have bad blood?
I mean, considering this is a rematch, I think they're just kind of at this point saying like, "Fuck you, dude! I had to fucking do this again."
Yep. Because I think Lando lost this last one, right?
Yeah. And Lando, I mean, now we're getting to the point where they're like, bro, we fought before, so now we're getting to that point where I feel like I know you and I can talk shit to you.
Yeah, for real. Oh, but Lando has a really like guillotine right now on Bobby Green. He has it in half guard, but then but it looks really, oh, no. Bobby Green went straight to side control, but then Lando's getting his hooks. He got his butterfly guard, all half butterfly. And Bobby Green's just landing shots on top.
Beautiful. Hey, man, I'm seeing that right now. Hey, we're back on Instagram. Hello, everybody. My name's Rafa Sparza. Gian Carlo is going to show up in just a second, a.k.a. G-Baby is Not Funny, a.k.a. Mr. Big, a.k.a. that guy, a.k.a. Datch guy who don't wear no gi, a.k.a. the person who's coming on right now. So very excited to bring him back on the Instagram. Of course, if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, all that jazz, you aren't really seeing anything different. And the gentlemen are now back up on the feet. Very interested to see how this is going to play out. Yeesh.
God damn. And then, like, you see Lando changing levels, but I feel like Bobby Green can read him now.
Yeah.
Especially after the first fight.
I would be interested to talk more to people who fight an opponent a second or a third time just to ask them, like, if you've already shared the cage for about 15 minutes, then it becomes 30, then it becomes 45 or even longer than that. Like, at what point do you feel like you know this person?
I think the perfect person to bring on is Gray Maynard with Frankie Edgar fighting him 3 times.
Oh, no. I have an update. I'll bring it to the attention of us just in a second, but my God.
What happened?
MMA Junkie says the UFC announced on the broadcast that Kevin Holland versus Trevin Giles has been canceled after Giles fainted in the hallway prior to the walkout. No, bro. Like, okay, could have had a huge disaster there. That would have been terrible.
Wow. But, like, what do you think is from the weight cut?
What? Probably.
Damn.
I'm not going to say that's anything COVID related because I don't have enough intel, and I believe they've been doing their best to screen as much as possible on that. But
that is COVID.
Oh my God, that's terrible to see. What's up, Aaron Willis? Reminder, give us a like and a share. We give you a toast on air. So don't let us down. Give us something to toast to, clown. At this point, I'm just rhyming. I just didn't. You know what? That makes sense because look, Joaquin dead.
Actually liked it. I liked it. I actually liked it.
Thank you. And you know what? Sometimes I don't love rhyming nonsense.
Bro, rap is doing it right now, man. You're good.
Yeah, I'm a real Jay-Z at this point, just going off the top of my head, not writing down my rhymes anymore. People will be like, when I say like, yo, I don't write down my rhymes, I just spit on the air. They're like, we know. We heard it, dude.
Have you seen that Vine? I don't know if it was a Vine or if it's just a famous YouTube video. It was like a poet that went on the news and he was trying to do a freestyle and then he just froze on camera.
No. Oh, I did.
Like, yeah, yesterday and he just like stared at the camera.
Oh yeah, dude, I hate those clips because I watch it and just feel so bad. Like, I laugh because I have a sense of humor and I have a soul, but then I immediately just go into like a real ball of a cocoon of, oh man, that sucks for that guy.
Yep. Man, Lando's footwork's a lot more. I
appreciate your input. Do you feel like we'll get a finish here?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh, never mind.
As both of these guys literally are just, oh no!
Yep, that's what I was just saying. Oh man.
No.
Come on, Lando. Come on, Groovy.
Lando, we need you to do the run in 12 parsecs. Come on, bro.
Yeah, man.
Ugh, fuck, dude.
Rocked him right there.
Yeah, I mean, at least he's kind of stabilizing right now, but this isn't a place you want to be, bro.
No, not at all.
Ugh.
I wonder how Bobby Green is like in person. I bet he's probably one of the coolest guys.
Honestly, dude, it gets so far into how long I've been doing this where sometimes I go, have I met him? I feel like I've met him.
I bet. How long have you been doing this show?
So I've been doing Grappling Hour is just a 2-year venture so far. We're about to celebrate our 2 years. No, he's in a rear naked choke, but he does not secure any part of it. And now Lando, for a split second, thought about a heel hook. They're both back up on their feet now, trading, exchanging, trying to get pummeling there. That's ended. I would tell you this. I started Grappling Hour 2018 of October, but I started Verbal Tap with Kev back in November of 2012. And before that, just before that, I was starting to work as a reporter for a Swedish MMA website. And through them, I actually got to go cover the UFC live. And I really enjoyed doing that. But then I also realized what an insane life that is.
Yeah, I bet. Like old school journalism.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, I was doing like camera work. I'd write articles for them. It wasn't even my full like shtick of doing like being on air. And they were very open. They would say like, hey man, if you want to ask questions and do all that, post presser. So I got to do that. And it was very strange because they've changed a lot since then. Now with the WME merger, they're way more Showtime friendly. They're a little bit more razzle dazzle. But back in the day, dude, they were fucking the worst.
Really? With like Zuffa?
You can call it just as a Zuffa problem. I just think that was how they liked running their show. Damn. You know, I think that they just, back on a rear naked choke again. And somehow Venata doing a decent enough job of just kind of rolling out of it. I don't know that I would suggest that to a number of people. And it looked like for a split second, he was going to do a pro wrestling, like,
yeah, right.
For a split second where he was going to like slam down on the arm and run on it for a split second. 1:23 left to go on my clock. And these guys still somehow look okay, all things considered. And it real quickly, you see Bobby Green get in a slap to his face.
Oh, man. This is a war.
Yeah. Do you have a particular person that you have winning this one so far, though?
I think it's Bobby.
All right.
I don't want to say that, though.
It happens. It's okay. I promise you.
Yeah.
Perspectives can change, and I'll look at these stats. Green is ahead on all metrics for each of the rounds. So at the very least, you have the ability to say that with some confidence that the numbers back you up more than anything.
Yeah, for real. Like I try to look at it as like unbiased as possible just because I know I want to get into this industry too.
Mhm.
So it's like I'm training myself mentally.
Yeah, dude. It's really one of the hardest things to learn on the job is to do good commentary, which is why I wanted to compliment you for doing a show where you can watch something in retrospect. You know, one of the reasons why I started to do this was I was like, well, there's no events that I'm going to be able to commentate because there are no events.
Mm-hmm. For
So
real.
this keeps the muscle steady and it gets me sharp when I need to be sharp. Because the hard part is I've gotten people who've told me in secret or in confidence, they're like, hey, we're going to put this event together. And I go, cool.
You know, to tell you the truth though, like you as a play-by-play commentator, you're just so spot on. And I bet like for me, I can't do play-by-play. Like I feel like if I have the spotlight on me, like to do it, I'll do it. But like you do it like so naturally.
So that's just reps. I
Yeah.
honestly, like when I first started doing this, all I thought was I was like a white belt, blue belt. I thought, well, who's going to listen to me? Like who's going to give a shit? And then I heard black belts talk and I go, oh, they're terrible. They
Yeah,
don't know how to communicate what they're thinking in their head. They think it sounds good and it might be technically correct, but it's not necessarily pleasing to the eardrum. So that's why I said, you know what? That's what I'm going to supply in. And so I would gain comfort from saying, as I would do more of the narrative based backgrounds and all that sort of stuff, the hardest thing about it is you can prepare as much as you want, but then if you have an open tournament, you can't possibly do research on 140 people. It just happens in front of you and you say, uh-oh, well, here's where we're at. So to me, I just said, oh, I know what makes me feel better is always being prepared. But it's kind of why I like this, which is, oh, I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I know these guys are going to come out, have a good match or a good fight, and I'll just say what I'm seeing in case people are too cheap to buy it. We love you guys. But if too cheap to buy it and they need some play-by-play, I'll give them that. But more importantly, I can do it on my terms because I don't do this the same way I do my regular commentary. So this is just a little bit more like loose and fun. But every once in a while, I'll do a couple glimpses. Did he just Triple H spit?
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah, dude, I was just like, wait, what? And Herb Dean kind of like looked at him like, really?
Bro, we have to sanitize this whole goddamn thing. Oh, not the time. Read the room. Yeah, Dane dude. Donovan saying, lean, mean, Bobby Green. Well, do me a solid here, Dane. If you could go ahead, you know what? This cheers goes out to you, Dane. I didn't see that you shared this, so I'm not going to make fun of you too much. Dane, if you could do us a solid and give a shout to Bobby Green that maybe spitting out at this point in time is not the thing we want to do, but tell him congratulations on the fight. Just, hey, listen, bro, I know you got the COVID test, but no spit in my face. Thanks, bro. Congrats. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
I think Megan outdid me on this one. Megan just said, that was gross. COVID, bro. No, don't show it again. And it's a terrible intro, by the way. That's so low. Whoever was on that and said, let's replay that. Gross. Ugh. Vomit in my mouth from all of that.
I would hate to be the guy that's like in charge of like the editing part, like doing it 5 seconds ahead, and then the producer's like, show that again. And I'd be like,
you know what? It's different. If you've ever been in a deck like that,
I bet it's so fast paced.
It's intense, dude. It is really cool and fascinating to watch. And you talk to these people outside of that realm, and they just they don't get phased at it by all. So let me say this. Right now, Bobby's talking with Felder, and he says, hey, that means I won both of these now.
Jesus, man.
Dane Donovan says, aha. Congrats, Green. I would agree with that, sir.
Do you think he has a SoundCloud account?
Maybe, bro, but he literally just ended by saying like, "Hey, yo, vote for me for fight of the night," and I was like, "Huh? The People's Choice Award? Like, nah, dude, that's not how the fight of the night works, bro."
Bro, it's not the All-Star game. You can't just vote someone.
Says Bobby Green, super active these days. Absolutely, man. Man's keeping busy.
He's a fucking killer, man.
I think he just said, "And now I'm done," but then proceeded to not be done. Anyway, I'm not going to judge this man. He fought very hard and won very well. I'm just saying, normally if you say mic drop, you don't pick up the mic and go, "Hold on, a few more thoughts." Before we finish, he's talking about leaving, I think, his son with his bloodline. He says that he has seen some dark days, and this is the advice I think he's giving his son. And it took him every emotion to get there, but he's there. Okay, good.
Damn, bro.
And I'm done. We think. All right.
Wait, another thing. It just goes back up. You know what I've been watching also is old Mad TV episodes.
Oh, good.
And also, bro, that show would have been so canceled like 12 times in just one episode.
A lot of things would have been canceled.
Yeah, dude, I looked back and I was like, wow.
So here's what I'm
still hilarious, though.
slightly nervous about is that if I ever become somewhat notable, is that I am slightly nerved that at some point one of my friends is going to be like, "Do you know Raph's racist?" And they'll say like some joke that I told them, and I'll be like, "No, bro, I'm not racist. I just thought that was funny. Like, I don't know what to tell you. We tell jokes. That's the whole point of this."
You know, it's also funny because I talked to another comedian of mine. I won't name him, but like we both said, "Bro, I'm just working as hard as I can until I get canceled." Like as a comedian, you know, like usually back then it was just a safe space to say whatever you say, but now it's like, "Yo, let's make money, save it, and just like until we can."
Look at this. We got a friend in here who just gave us a share. We'll give him a note here. I would just say this. So, like, somebody sent me a note in response to Brian Callen, who, by the way, what's up, Nathaniel? Good to see you again. The little perspective I have on Brian Callen is this, is that I really liked him, man. He was my saving grace. Like, when I heard him and Brandon Schaub were doing a show, I said, man, I don't like Brandon Schaub, but I like Brian Callen. And then all of a sudden, when the news article came out yesterday, and I read the news article and I go, "Ugh, it's not looking good." I go, "Man, it turns out I don't like the fighter nor the kid."
I know you told me that, and it killed me, bro. But you know, Brian Callen also tweeted that all those allegations were false, and he's going to respond to it in the fight of the kid. So you need to hear both sides of the story.
I mean, but I'll tell you this much: I read the article. That's a good start because they did. It's not like the article didn't quote him, and those were not great quotes. So to me, I said, all right, I'm okay with listening to that and hearing it through. But somebody responded to me and they said, "Oh, man, was this you?" I don't think you said this. Somebody else said, "Man, they're coming for Joe. They're like coming for Rogan." And I was like, or no, you didn't say that. That's what I realized. I was like, no, you didn't say that. Somebody messaged me and they go, "Oh, they're coming for Rogan." I was like, or maybe don't do bad shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really is what it comes down to. And like, to me now, you're seeing with Joe Rogan, unfortunately, I've called him the male Oprah for years, but you're seeing him have his Dr. Oz, his Dr. Phil, who are kind of quacks, being a little tested, and they should be put to being appropriately vetted, I think.
Bro, Joe is the podfather, man.
He is the podfather, but every once in a while, if you bring out Joe and you see him talk to Eddie Bravo and they start talking about, you know, real life issues, I'm like, I don't need to hear that. Talk about
same. Yeah, for real, same. I'm the same way too, dude. Eddie Bravo is my sensei, and there's some things that I listen to him, and I'm like, "Hey, dude, can you just talk about the fight? I don't want to hear more conspiracy theories. Thank you."
Yeah, I mean, listen, dude. You know, hey, listen. Everybody has the right to talk about whatever they want to talk about.
Yeah.
So when they have the forum, I'm not going to tell them that they can't do it. Mm-hmm. I think the harder part is I don't know that I've ever really had an issue with Joe as much as I have issue with his fans and that cult of
The bro culture.
it's not even bro culture, because bro culture sometimes doesn't even affect me. It's more so fanaticism to the point of not seeing your heroes as flawed.
Yeah,
And
of course. And I was guilty of that. And my girlfriend's like, hey, like, look, this is what he's flying at. And at the same time, I'm like, yeah, like, okay, I see it. But the first time, like, I see it, it hurt at first. Because you're like, this guy was like your male role model too.
yeah.
And it's really hard to see someone that sees things both sides, but then you see that flaw. And then I realized as a comedian, you kind of have to understand everyone's human,
Mhm.
and you can't idolize people as a person. You have to idolize them as for their talent.
So, for example, like Joey Diaz is, I consider him a friend, and I didn't love what he said, but at the same point, like I thought he responded really well to it. So I felt like, man, you know, he was talking about cancel culture, and I understand that to an extent. But what he was saying is, he's like, listen to how many opportunities I've given people. Like I'm trying to be a better person consistently, and I think like, yeah, it's not quite the same. You know, like I kind of get it. And I kind of also understand, as a comedian, you shouldn't have to apologize for your jokes. For example, Dane Donovan says, Callan sexually assaulted my ears with his stand-up. So, Dane, are we going to, like, if we're going to talk about his stand-up, are you going to talk about Big Brown stand-up? Because,
oh, dude, actually, to tell you the truth, Brendan Shaw gives me hope that I can make it one day, though.
You 100% can. The only issue is that he was really good at leveraging his celebrity into that element of, famous comedians will tell you, sometimes when you show up, people will laugh just at you being you for the first 10 minutes. And then it becomes, are you funny? And so to me, I've always just thought, okay, listen, I can't do Callan, but you know, God bless that kid for making a new career. Like, good for him, man. He leveraged it. He had to go up against Dana, but I don't want him talking about anything, because literally whatever he talks about, I feel like I take the opposite. Like, whatever he says, I just go opposite. No.
like how liberals feel with like Donald Trump whenever he says something like, nope, I'm 100% against it.
And I guess the difference is with Donald Trump, at least on the side, like, dude, I remember after the 2016 election, I didn't vote for the guy, but I was like, man, maybe he'll be somebody who unites us. And I'm back in my head, I'm like, he will not unite us. But at the same point, I think to myself, hey, listen, he won. Let's see what happens. The next week, it was like, I want to say, fuck everybody who didn't vote for me. You are losers. Everybody knows that. And let's say freaking Hillary. And I was like, oh, this is going to continue, huh?
Hey, man, he's not a great president, but at least he's funny to listen to, man.
I feel like other generations that we live through will hold us accountable for this time as to being like, you lived through this? And we're going to be like, yeah, I don't know. 100%. I didn't do it, man. Let me say this. Big Bro Brown needs to pay us to watch him do stand-up. Okay, at least you have some sense about you. I can get with that, Dane. But, I'll say this. I hope for the best for all of this to be there. But obviously, it doesn't look good. It's just one of those things where I think to myself, you know, I wasn't listening to them for a while, but, you know, we'll see what happens. It'll be intriguing to go there. Let's say what's up to Christaku Judo Jitsu. That's a lot of stuff that you put in your name there, bud. And then Rafael Rossetto. Do we have like an alert that just lets every Rafael know that I'm on air?
Rafael Rossetto is actually one of the close friends. He's my close friend now, but like Rafael Rossetto was actually a close friend of a tattoo artist who was my close friend that died 2 years ago.
What the fuck was that for? Why did that journey get so sad? He was actually a friend of a friend. He died. Anyway.
But like the thing is that he moved to Colorado and he lives so close now. Like I'm in New Mexico, but like we're like so close that I'm like, oh man, I should just take a trip up there.
I appreciate that you're working through your feelings on this show where you're like, man, I should talk to him. I haven't messaged him.
That's inevitable, bro. Like, I'm sorry.
That's pretty
But like, like it unites people more than, in a way. I don't know. Whatever. Forget what I was about to say.
Let me put this out. We've got over here, Jane Donovan says, Trump has better timing than Brandon Slob.
That's true. That's true. That is true. That whole China bit was great. Offensive, of course, but that was hilarious.
I'll tell you this much. I know the two guest comics I would be dipping out for if they're like, and today, big surprise, everybody, coming out right now, Donald Trump, and being like, nope, he's going to do his bit on Asians. I'm out. Bye, everybody. That's what he's probably going to do after all this, because people wonder what happens when Trump's done being president. He'll probably just go back to The Apprentice. Nah, he'll do The Apprentice again, and he'll come out and he'll be like, this one's for all the marbles, everybody. Now we're going to bring out my best friend, Kid Rock, and Ivanka. They're going to judge you on your policy. And you're going to be like, this got way worse. This is not as fun as it used to be.
You know what would be awesome, though? In his last term of presidency, actually, the year before that, the apprentice that wins has to be president for a year. Yo, Donald, if you're listening to this, call me. I got you. I'll write it. And also, Brendan, if Brian gets canceled, call me too. I'll be the kid.
Yeah. You know what we'll do? At a certain point, we'll just take the island that nobody's using anymore and just put everybody to canceled island.
Yo, it's going to be lit over there. You got Louis C.K., Chris D'Elia.
I mean, D'Elia and Callan are already going to start a new podcast that's going to be called Canceled, but are we?
Are we? Yeah, right.
I don't know. Like I said, y'all are informed enough to make your own decisions. I like that in the time I took here, I went to go make fun of one of my friends, and they already liked it. Good for them. All right. Oh, I have to change the name on this. God damn it.
Oh, yeah.
Joanne Calderwood. Oh, no, wait. This is Loke and Brown. Got it.
Mm-hmm. Who do you think is going to win this one?
Well, first of all, I need to ask you, how do you say Luque or Brown? Or how do you say their names?
Vicente Luque and then Randy Brown.
Luque, okay. Because every time I see his name, just the way it looks, I want to call him Liu Kang. But I know that's not correct.
Well, it's like Luque because it's like he's...
No, Nathaniel! No, bad Nathaniel. Canceled with the kid should be the name. Wrong.
I actually like that name, though. That's a good name for a
No. Oh, that's terrible. But it's really funny.
Yeah, that's a good one. Levi, I owe you a beer.
Oh, no. Dane Donovan says, if you're having a rough day, do yourself a favor and read the comments from Below the Belt podcast. I don't know. That sounds terrible, too. Everyone has terrible ideas.
Bro, I love the comments that, like, King of the Stings, Below the Belt, and The Fighter and the Kid, because those comments are so hilarious. And I'm like, those people that comment, I'm like, you guys need to do stand-up for sure. There was one that for King of the Sting, it was like, Theo Von looks like a guy that would fight in a street fight and hiss. I was like, that's hilarious.
I mean, that's what we talk about being able to take a hit, is when you look at those comment sections. I would say that. I don't know that I try to write a lot of things about Brendan Schaub. I just answer honestly when asked about him. But I also feel at a certain point, he and I may rendezvous. I thought I covered one of his fights, but our paths didn't cross then. I just always feel like if somebody were to ask me in the future, they'll be like, oh, hey, have you met Brendan Schaub? I'd be like, no. How are you, sir? You okay?
He seems like a cool guy.
I don't know. I don't know him. I don't know what to say other than, hey, bud, hope you're all right. That's good enough, right?
You're a cool podcast host. You're like a good, like, I feel like every podcast that has two hosts, there's always one that's like the main one and one that adds to it. And Brendan's always good at adding things to it or just copying it.
If I'm being honest, I think the one thing that Kevin ever got mad at me for saying was you're the Brandon Schaub of the podcast.
Oh my god, that's like saying the Marty Jannetty, bro.
Well, he wouldn't understand that one.
Yeah.
So when I told him, I was like, you're the Brandon Schaub of the podcast, he's like, we aren't doing this anymore. And I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be that mean. All right. So again, how do you say Vincent
Vicente?
Okay? Well,
I said Vicente.
You say, well, listen, dude, here in America, I call him Vicente. So
Then it's Luque, because it's like the way you pronounce it in Portuguese.
okay. Luque is, I think, a better way of saying it. However, look at this already. Brown is seeming to have his legs wobble every time Luque hits it. It's again another fight with weird reach differentiums.
Mm-hmm. I think this fight might finish early.
It says, Brandon seems like he would be cool. Just surprised he hasn't killed himself yet. Well, yeah.
It's not Aaron Hernandez. It just looks like him, dude.
Yeah, Dane coming in hot today with some Brendan Schaub takes. I was like, bro, I don't like the guy, but I don't want him to, F himself. Here's where we continue. A nice knockdown over here. Mm-hmm. We're going to see Luque get in some time with some punches over here. So far, Brown trying to do a good sense on the defense. Almost reguards for a split second. Luque now stuck in a little bit of a half guard. I think he should.
It's like a quarter guard, isn't it?
Kind of. The only issue here is that he's purposely leaving himself here. So it's different than in jiu-jitsu where you say like, oh man, he's got to work to get out of here. Sometimes they're like, I don't give a fuck. I'm fine right here because I can punch and elbow you from here.
Jiu-jitsu and MMA is such a different beast, man.
Yeah. Man, my hair is coming undone on this now. I am seeing more and more evidence of it just go into mad scientist route.
Nah, dude, it's Pablo Escobar route.
Good Lord.
That's a good thing.
That's the worst part. Is this angle on Instagram isn't as bad. This angle over here on this one is not beneficial. Maybe I need to turn with this. It'll make it a little less crazy. But every time I catch a glance of like the replay on there, I go, who is that? Oh, that's me. Jesus. 136 left to go in this round. We have seen a knockdown from Luque. Watching around as Brown is back on the feet and is using a little bit more of his kicks to try and even things out. Does some evasive maneuvering, keeping his hands down.
Brown looks a lot more comfortable now.
Oh, yeah, a lot.
Yeah. Now I think Brown's using his reach advantage for sure. Just testing the waters here. I think it's because he got rocked. There's two different fighters. There's the ones that got rocked and they're like, oh, that's it. And then like they get more confident after that. And then what? Never mind. But he's getting back up though.
You know what I love is the modern knowledge of fighters where they know that they can't grab the fence, but they kind of use it as that like push me back in fence.
Yep. Put me back in there, coach. That's their coach. It's the cage, man.
The minute they grab that fence, they're just like, no, you're still alive and fight.
Yeah.
Get a photo of her. My wife's like, the dog looks really cute on the couch. And I'm like, I can't see her. So I go get a photo of the dog. And she goes, what? I go get a photo of her. I would like to see how cute she is. Because I can't get up and move.
I know, right? I actually got to get myself another beer before we cheers, just in case if it ends.
Well, it's very possible we will see that. So go ahead and grab yourself a beer real quick. I'll cover for us.
Sounds good.
All right. See you in a second. All right. Hey, here's a good reminder. If you guys are going to buy any new gear, we're going to ask that you guys go on over to No-Gi BJJ Gear. If you go there and you find a rash guard, say one called Corona Weight Champ, who cares? I don't know if you guys want to get that. I would suggest you put it in your cart, you use the promotional code Grappling Hour 15 and save yourself 15% off whatever you put in the cart. It promotes us, promotes them, promotes everybody, and it gives you something cool to wear because I guarantee nobody's going to beat you with that rash guard on. And that is not legally binding. Wink. There you go. Anyway, Nogi BJJ gear. Go check them out. Buy yourself some gear. Get yourself some fly new kicks. Let's see this. Raph doesn't have a single gray hair. My wife would tell you differently. She likes to count the gray hairs in my hair. Although, if I'm being honest, I don't have too many crazy ones. So I'm pretty lucky thus far. And my dad has always had salt and pepper. So when he got to be about my age now, I started to see him gray with the salt and pepper a little bit. But I'm going to say it makes me look distinguished, is what I'm saying. What's up, Mike? Good to see you, bud. Are you guys going with Loquet or Brown? I'm swaying towards Loquet. Interesting. Well, are we talking about who's getting more low blows? Or I'm not sure. What's up, Fabio Lopez? 85. Oh, beautifully timed. Thank you so much. Producer wife Kelly has come in to save the day with a wrap, which she has gotten from. They're not sponsoring us. I'm not reading it. Who the fuck is this? Oh no! iPad down. I know I could read it, but they're not sponsoring us. So why am I going to read it?
We could get freaked out.
They're not going to sponsor us, babe.
You don't know.
Babe, come on. We are glad that you guys are joining us. We hope you're having a great day. We'll be joined back again by one Gian Carlo in just a second. Some kicks over to the leg over on this side. Gian Carlo, come back in the stream. 4 minutes left on my clock right now. And again, a continuous amount of movement by young Randy Brown.
Yeah, that took me a while. I actually broke the first seal.
I don't need to know more than I need to know sometimes.
We're family, dude.
We are, fam. It just sounds a little, you know what I mean? Like somebody coming in at this moment in the podcast might just be like, "Gay?
They'd probably be like, hold up, let me just stay on this stream." What are they talking about?
Yeah, I don't know that I want to. Let me get off this ride, please. Oh my God. Okay. So let me see. Boom. Gonna tweet that one out as well. Boom. What else? Where are we? I can't even tell which ones that we're on because sometimes they don't add up correctly. There we go.
This is the first time I've been on like more than one stream at the same time, by the way. So
it is difficult, but you are technically on 5 different locations at once.
Wow.
Yep. The only thing, so the thing I've always liked is we tend to get folks on Instagram on different days that are a little more lively. Tonight's a little more quiet on their side. But we get people on Instagram that have chimed in that have been very, very vocal and very, very needy. So like when they chime in there, they're always like, "I don't like this fighter." And I go, "Whoa, where did that come from?" The Facebook people are not that rude.
I know, right?
Angel, I know that you gave us a share. We'll take care of you at the commercial or at least at the break of this. So don't go anywhere. I am trying to do my best to make sure we keep on with everybody, but I don't forget.
So we're on Facebook too?
What's up? Yeah, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. What's the other one?
Cool.
Instagram and the other one. I don't know. There's like 5 places we're on right now.
Awesome. I'm going to share that too.
That's a beautiful part is like sometimes when we're doing it live, I try to keep up with everybody who's sharing and commenting. And there are some days when I go back and post and I'll see the comments that I didn't see while we were on air. And I go, oh, that's funny. Or that's different. Or, oh man, they were a dick. Fuck them. I'm glad I didn't see them on air.
There's actually, I did one live stream in Spanish. And man, it's been so long since I spoke in Spanish, and that some guy was just talking shit about it, and I was like, "Damn, dude, chill."
So some people, they just show up to talk shit. Like they have no redeeming value other than nice takedown here,
Yep.
Senor Brown. They have no or not Senor Brown. That's Luque, actually, right?
I think that was Brown.
No, that was Brown. Thank you. Sorry, got him. Brain fart for a split second. Yeah, a lot of people don't have any redeeming quality other than to just show up and be like, you know what? I hate my life. Fuck you, man. My life sucks. So I just want to take it on you. And you go, that's fine. Whatevs.
You know, it's funny. I would be like, where are those people coming from? Like, why are they like this? And then I worked in a dispensary, and I'm like, oh, I get it.
But doesn't the weed help them, though? Like, isn't the weed supposed to calm them down and make them more tolerable of human being?
So this is the thing, bro. They don't come when they're already high. They come when they run out, so they're grumpy. Yeah, one of those.
You know what? I think I understand now for the very first time. Oh, no. We have a stoppage here with 5 seconds left to go in the second round. Wow.
That was crazy.
Well, that means he needs to get a cheers in a second, so I'll reload this because I want some. Ooh, he is not feeling good right now.
That's rough.
Okay. Well, let me share this on over. As I share it right now, I'm going to share to your timeline. Thank you, Facebook. I appreciate you. Okay. What's that?
I really appreciate these Facebook comments.
Yes. Like I said, everybody gets a little bit there. I love that knee. Yeah, that knee is intense, my friends. Let me do a quick little toast on over to one Angel. So Angel gave us a share earlier this evening. Did you know, Angel, that this is the 24th anniversary of Kurt Angle winning an Olympic gold medal with a broken freaking neck, my friend? And I will tell you this. I believe that he won that gold medal because of you. You didn't do anything, but you didn't not do anything, which is almost like helping America. So cheers to you for helping Kurt Angle, an Olympic legend, win a gold medal for us here in the States. Cheers to you, sir.
Cheers. And that was a beautiful speech, Ref.
Thanks. I was passionate about it. You know what is weird? I just saw the factoid before we went on air today, and I was like, oh, if Angel did it. Oh, look at that. Nathaniel said you suck.
You suck.
This is the best, Nathaniel. Angle slam for you, sir. That's brilliant.
That was awesome.
I would tell you this, man. Kurt Angle makes me laugh so hard. So no, you know what it was? Is we were talking about singlets one time, and Angel made the mistake of saying something to the effect about Kurt Angle. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm just always going to cheers that guy about either singlets or Kurt Angle. And so far, we've been 100% on the money on those. Dane Donovan says, cheers. Oh, thank you, Dane. I appreciate that. Look at Angel. Cheers indeed. Listen, bud, I appreciate you. And I know the fans, they're saying you suck. But what they're really meaning in their hearts is you are great. But they say it through you suck because they're not saying it to me. But yeah, no, I just love that dude. And I would tell you this. If somebody's really good at wrestling, they should be able to pull off an angle slam in a jiu-jitsu match. So I'm not saying who, I'm not saying how, I'm just saying y'all should be able to do that shit.
You know, it's cool to see Roderick Strong doing it now.
Yeah, I was about to say, that was right. He was starting to do it, and I saw a couple other guys doing it, and oh no, we do not have a second competitor. Player 2 is missing, but now has made his way over and wants to have a chat as they're already ready to read the decision. And congratulations to Vicente Loque. So I'm going to give you the opportunity to do the cheers here, sir.
Vicente, I've been watching you since the Ultimate Fighter season 21. You were in the Black Zillions. I was rooting for Black Zillions. And it's really cool to see where your career is at right now. And I'm glad to see where it goes. Cheers.
Cheers. Boom. That's a very nice one. I had to make sure you took that one because I thought you had a better pronunciation of his name. And I thought if I took that one, he might think I'm insulting him, where I'm like, I'm only vaguely insulting you. It's not full on insulting you. It's not like it's only like a 50% insult here. Yeah, I was trying to think. There was somebody else. I would say this. My friend over at Happy Rolling BJJ, Tony, I feel like he's been taking more of what we've been doing because he ended up doing the Dean Ambrose sliding into an armbar that looked hilarious.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty funny. If you guys haven't seen Happy Rolling, go check out the armbar from Dean Ambrose, where he literally rolls or like slides from the ring to you do an armbar on the edge of the ring, and it's ridiculous, but it's hilarious.
That's funny. You know, he's been training at Extreme Couture, right?
I've heard that. Yeah.
Yeah. My co-commentator at in Las Vegas at World Series of Fighting, he actually trains over there, and he was just like, "Yo, dude, he's been putting in so much work at Extreme Couture." I'm like, "Really?"
I mean, hey, man, you don't know when those moves are going to come in handy, dude.
For real? It's pretty cool.
I mean, I think that's the future, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
For real.
Vicente has 8 knockouts. He has the second most knockouts in welterweight history behind Matt Brown. That's a good stat to have on your resume, my friends.
For real. I heard rumors that the next fight for Carlos would actually be against Matt Brown.
I don't want to watch that one.
Yeah.
I like both those guys a lot. And
I love
you guys,
both of them too.
You guys are in tight with Carlos. So I guess this is a good time to reveal a little bit. I think I've told you this. When we first started, Condit was like a man crush for Kevin.
Really?
Yes. And our very first episode we ever did was him versus GSP. And we broke down that fight. And Kevin only vaguely believed that Condit beat GSP. I was very hardline on being like, bro, I like both of them, but GSP won that fight. And Kevin was like, I don't know, dude. I think. And I was like, no, you don't. And by the end of the episode, he was like, yeah, I think you're right. And about a year and a half later, I think it was a year later, they had a World Jiu-Jitsu Expo. And Kevin came out. He flew out here from Denver. And we had the opportunity to go up to fighters and do interviews. It was amazing. And we saw Condit, and I went up to him. And Kevin, for the very first time I've ever seen him, got starstruck, where I said, hi, Carlos, my co-host, it's a bit. He has a giant crush on you. So do you mind? He's like, perfect, got it. And he just ran with it, dude. Like, he was so funny and cool about it. And Kevin was doing the whole, like, how are you, man? And we ended up bringing him on the Verbal Tap ages ago, and he was so nice. He didn't have to give us any time. We just said, hey, we'd love to bring you on for our, I think at the time, 50th episode. And he came on, and he was the nicest, dude.
Such a great guy. It's weird because I was starstruck when I first met him, because like I was just like, damn, this is like a huge MMA star for me.
Yep.
And then like now that I look back, like now he's like a close friend, even like I work with him before.
Yep.
And it's just like, damn, like it's crazy to see like such humility from someone like that.
He is amazing. And then on the same side, I wouldn't have told you years ago that we would have ever been in the capacity to ever know Matt Brown, but I got to train with him. And when I trained with Matt Brown, I mean, obviously he's a tough role, dude. He's a beast. Mm-hmm. But Matt Brown ended up with one of my interview microphones. I don't know how, but it slipped out of my bag. And I normally carry like 2 microphones. And I didn't know if he'd remember. And I was like, fuck, dude. I left it at the gym. I was really pissed. And the guy who brought me to the gym was another fighter. But I was asking him, I was like, do you know where it is? He's like, I don't know, man. I think it's there. I heard it's there. And I go, cool. Can I get it back or no? And I want to say at an event I was covering a little bit later, Matt Brown runs into me and he just goes, hey, man, I still have your microphone. I go, what? How do you have it? And he's like, I don't know. I just do. I was like thinking in my head, I go, there's no way he remembers me. 100% remembered me and that he had my microphone. So.
That's hilarious, man. He was so intimidating in The Ultimate Fighter with the Forrest Griffin and Quinton Rampage Jackson season.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, he must be such a tough dude. And that was before I saw him fight.
And that's the whole thing is he's equally as nice. Great. What's up, 10PJJ Por Vida? And Nathaniel says one of the coolest people for sure. Absolutely, man. So that's why it's amazing to me to see Condit being one of y'all's friends and just how fate works. And how it comes out that way. Because I knew for years he was, he had to do other jobs and he had different parts of his story and just a really good, humble guy. And there was talk of him going, to train elsewhere and be a coach for other people. And I was just like, dude, I hope wherever he goes and ends up, he's going to be happy. And once I saw him with you guys, I said, I think he looks happy, man. I think he looks like this is kind of where he belongs and he needs to be.
Yeah, like we're all weirdos and he's a weirdo and, we all get along somehow.
I like that. That's probably the best branding ever. It's just like jiu-jitsu where weirdos coincide.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, things are coming up next. Joanne and Jennifer will take the stage momentarily, but let's plug some shit. What should people know about your podcast? Now you've got so many. I think it's really important that people get an idea of where they can go find you, sir.
Well, first of all, if you're on Instagram, you can just click on my profile on gbabiesnotfunny.com. And I have the Cover Your Mouth podcast, which is my solo podcast. That's my passion project. It's whatever I can do, whatever I want, however I want, whenever I want. I can write it. I write it, edit it, everything. I bring on whatever guests. This upcoming week, I'm going to have Matt Page back on, a.k.a. Master Ken. We're close friends. I'm excited to have him on. I always have a great conversation. Nasty and the Baby, we're going on a small hiatus. Nate's going through some things that I don't want to talk about, but soon we'll be back on. But you can always check us on Nasty and the Baby on Spotify, Apple, iTunes. And then my new podcast is coming on with Gary Miller, who's the assistant coach of the wrestling team with Justin Gaethje, who's also a comic, is going to be on with me for Unemployed Commentators. Unemployed Commentators is commentators that are not employed, obviously, for the things that we're going through right now. We're just covering old historic sporting events. We're going to have the Tab Out series creator who just joined right now on Instagram. He's going to be on pretty soon too. I'll talk to him later about that. The first episode is coming out on Wednesday. Roberto Duran versus Sugar Ray Leonard, the first one. Numero uno, not the no mas fight, the first one. And then, just stay tuned. Make sure you just subscribe. You can just follow me on Instagram just to keep updated because I know there's a lot of stuff going on. And
Awesome, man. I was like, and he's made it through half of the podcast that he now hosts.
Yeah, it took a while. Now I understand.
I mean, listen, dude, I always have to do one of those things. And when I plug my shit, one of my favorite things when I go on other people's shows, when they go, oh, you did that like a professional. And I'm like, yeah, you got to get used to doing them. If you do that many shows, you better be good at plugging them all, or else guess what? No one will listen. So You got to tell the people where to tune in. You got to make sure you're consistent about it. So that way people continue to show up. What's up, Gabe? Gabe, did you give us a share earlier? I don't even remember. Tell me in the DM. Slide in. If you didn't and you're just asking us to give you a cheers, that's against the rules. But just as a reminder, if you guys are tuning in right now, if you give us a like and a share, we give you a cheers on air. And I always make sure to follow up with it, even if I don't. Think about that one. Boom. But pretty much I do remember. There have been people who, if we did miss, I always make sure to take care of on the next one. So we're always doing our best to take a look and keep up with the crowd. So that's been an interesting and fun endeavor for all of us involved right now. But we have been flying through this UFC. I was expecting to be here much later. But instead, we have Joanne Calderwood, Jennifer Maya, and then Derek Brunson at the top versus Edmund Shabazarian or Shabazian. Could say it. Thank you. I could say it earlier in the night, but then it went away. I would like to point this out as well, though. Derek and Edmund is actually going to be 3 rounds, if I remember correctly.
Ronda was actually negotiating with Dana about that because he's not ready for a 5-round fight for what she said. It's because he's so young and also just starting out, really. And it's because it was originally a Holly Holm fight to be main eventing.
That's right.
So it was like a last minute main event. I think like 5 days or 6 days notice.
Which is crazy to have Ronda Rousey be like, by the way, love this kid, but not gonna let him go full 5 rounds.
Yeah. Which I think it's smart too, man.
I mean,
And
say what you will about Ronda, she is smart.
for real. And she's a really smart businesswoman on top of that.
Absolutely. Well, it looks like they are now stalling.
Yeah,
Because
for sure.
we are over at Megan Olivia, who's just kind of like, hey, I'm just sitting here with Rashad Evans. Like, what's up? How have you been?
Is
What
Jennifer
are you
Maya
watching?
Is Jennifer Maya any like related to Damian Maya, or it's just a really common last name in Brazil?
I know that there's a baby Vieira, but I don't know the case on Jennifer. Let me look that up. Because if I didn't know that, that's something I would like to learn.
Yeah, for real. Because Joanne Calderwood has been killing it lately, man.
I don't see anything, but it would say here her last fight was a loss against Caitlin Chook again. She has wins over Alexis Davis, Roxanne Modafferi. She has a loss against Liz Carmouche. She has 2 wins over Roxy. I remember that one. Yeah, that one.
Damn.
Yeah, she's solid. So that is what is happening on that side of the world.
Do you think this might be fight of the night?
I don't know, man. I want to give fight of the night to fucking Vince if I can.
No, right?
I'm trying to put some bad juju on the rest of these fights so my friend gets some money. I don't know, man, because the hardest part is like because Vince is so new in the UFC and because it was a fairly lopsided scorecard, it is hard to make that case, but that was a much more entertaining fight than I think we've seen all night. And I will 100% confirm any bias that anybody asks about.
Yeah, I agree. That was a really entertaining fight.
But it's no different than anybody being like, yo, vote for this. Okay. Dane Donovan is responding and he says, so Ronda and Dana, more than friends? I'll let you take that one.
So Ronda Rousey's actually Shabazian's manager. And she's actually the one that's in control of her career, especially because if you see that history that Shabazian has with Edmund, I don't know how to pronounce this. Is it Tavarian?
Mm-hmm.
Edmund Tavarian. He's been there since he was 11 years old.
Yeah.
So Ronda Rousey's really close with that kid.
Yeah. But the question was,
no more than friends. Nah, I doubt it. I watch Total Divas, and she looks really close to Travis Brown.
I think he might be asking for the past because that was a big rumor, was that Ronda and Dana were together, or at least seeing each other on the side. I can tell you this though. Oh, Nathaniel says Eskimo Bros because Brandon Schaub as well. Yeah, so much. What do I say here? What I can tell you is, if she was with Dana, Edmund would have also been around. And I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Coach Edmund. That would have been like, Ed movement. So that's the joke I got for you guys. That's all I'm going to do on that one.
Bro, you know what's so funny, though, is that after, what's that kid's name? The coach of Diego Sanchez.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yes.
Joshua Fabia. Yeah, there's no limits at this point, bro. I feel like I can be a good MMA coach at this point. Carlos, if you're listening to this, bro, get me, bro. I got you. Shadow.
Carlos is 100% going to be like Shadow. I remember going on the show right after that and be like, what the fuck is Shadow?
Bro, I was there on live, actually, front row, and I was listening to it. I was like, what? Yeah, I've been trying to convince Carlos this whole time, like, dude, let me corner you, man. He's like, no, I'm not gonna let you corner me. Why would I let you corner me?
I think the real thing to get a response on is, why wouldn't you let me corner you?
Exactly.
And then
I should
what
have
he
thought
said.
of that. Yeah, I should have thought of that, man. Dude, Joanne's gonna. I feel like she's gonna win this one.
Why?
Her striking and her like ground, like all around, she's just been growing as a fighter, and I think she's gonna win this fight. I don't know. I
Okay.
just have this feeling. And nothing against Jennifer Maya because I feel like she's a beast, but I don't think she's gonna be Colorwood.
So let me bring this up to you.
Yeah.
Angel David Castro says, like Mike Perry's GF. I would tell you this. I would venture a bet that our man here would be a million times better than Mike Perry's girlfriend. Would he have her winning percentage? Questionable.
Yeah, I won't kiss Carlos on the forehead, dog.
You would ice the fuck out of that motherfucker.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I'd be like, do what you do, man. And that's it. Shadow.
Okay, real quick. Everybody watching on Instagram, this thing's about to die. So that means come back in just a second. We're going to reset the stream on the Instagram. So I'm going to kill it now so we can be here for most of the fight. Love you guys. See you in a second. Goodbye. Boom. UFC Vegas. All right, tell us what you're seeing here, sir.
All right, so they're right now introducing the fighters. Jennifer Maya first, and then now they're just announcing Joanne Calderwood. That's such an interesting last name, by the way.
It really
Calderwood.
is. Yeah, it makes me feel like she had like a job in a small village in like the 1600s.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the Calderwoods? Yes, they're a locksmith over here.
Oh, the Calderwoods.
All right, I'm going to set this back up.
Awesome.
Oh, no.
What
That's
happened?
pretty funny. It says, bro, Mike Perry hurting some random folks at restaurants. Yeah, I mean, what else do you expect he's going to do? That's what he does.
But at the same time, man, what did that old man do? He just got in his face.
Well, there's a lot of story behind that. Apparently, he was accosting, hey, what's up, everybody on Instagram? We're talking shit about Mike Perry. So, yeah, apparently he was accosting a waitress or something. Like, he got in their face or something, and then the old man got into his face. So it wasn't just like some old man being like, hey, Sonny, you come over here so I can give it to you. Like, there was some legit beef. But let's go ahead and start talking about this fight right now. You got Calderwood. You got Maya coming in right now. And we've got G-Baby back on the Instagram. Hello, everybody. My name's Rafa Sparza. We're walking you through the ESPN fights. It is now the co-main event. The night has just flown by in so many quick ways. Nice exchange there. And you'll see Calderwood in the blue trunks and Maya in the black trunks. Eesh. Nice punch by Maya on that one, though. Maya's coming out pretty strong herself on this.
For real. It's like she heard me. I'm sorry. Don't hurt me.
Calderwood dipping down each time she's been striking this far in.
Mm-hmm.
And even as she's kicking, it's like she's starting to back up a little bit more and more on each of these strikes.
Yep.
So you were talking about, you just had this feeling. Why did you have that feeling? I want to get more information out of that.
Just because she was like 16-2 in Muay Thai, and Jennifer Maya doesn't like to go to the ground. She likes to keep the fight standing, and I feel like Calderwood's more of a veteran when it comes to striking.
Apologies, I can see I got something here. 1 second. I like that Dane says, Calderwood's voice is so relaxing. It's like a verbal back massage.
For real, dude. She's like She's like what Sinead O'Connor wants to sound like when she talks,
Oh,
bro.
wow. You're saying like Sinead O'Connor sounds like a street urchin next to her?
I'm not saying that.
No, I'm just saying she sounds bad though.
Yeah.
Nothing
For real,
compares to you
though.
except her voice. Jesus.
For real though.
Already here though, Joanne looking a little bit better. Fortune's a little bit nicer to her as she's pressing one Maya up against the cage, who's starting to back up ever so slightly, trying to find her own footing on the cage, seeing if she can possibly work from half. Though this is going to be interesting. Normally, when you want to work against the cage, you don't want to stay in your half guard, but she seems to be making it work kind of nicely for her, at least for keeping herself safe, bringing the leg over, almost trying to create not even a bicep slicer, just trying to create a little bit of control on that right arm.
Yeah, her guard looks intense right now.
I like Megan Johnson just saying LOL, men. Fair enough, Megan. You're not wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not going to dispute that. That's a fair point. Megan Johnson says, I'm going with Joanne on this one.
It's the feeling, bro. It's that feeling. I'm surprised they're on the ground at the moment, though.
Yeah.
If I was in Joanne's corner, listen up, Carlos. If I was in Joanne's corner, I'd be like, yo, just stand up. Don't take the fight to the ground. Just keep it standing. Oh, man.
Yo, you're not going to get this armbar. No. It's looking good. Oh, but knee on face is exactly how I want to get out of most of my armbars. This is looking a little unfortunate on the placement. Oh, she almost out for a split second. That arm's looking even more compromised as it goes on here. Wow.
Oh, man.
Yeah. She is not necessarily able to move, and she gets a tap. Wow, Damian Maya, JKA, not related. One, Jennifer Maya. Wow.
Damn, bro. See,
Well,
it's that feeling. I don't trust that feeling anymore.
Well, we've learned not to take that feeling to Vegas.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
That's like one of the reasons why people ask, like, why don't you bet on fights? Like, you have a lot of knowledge on that. I'm like, that's why.
Well, it's not often you see arm bars as finishes.
Yeah, sure. Not anymore, man. Back then it would be like so often.
But man, okay, look at the way she grabs the back of that elbow.
Mm-hmm. Like a shotgun armbar.
What she did was she recognized, what's up, 7-string Javi? She recognized the armbar was close to being loose. And then when she was able to re-grab the back of that elbow, she was able to contain it. If she hadn't have grabbed that, that shit would have been over. And let's talk about this. Our night is getting shorter by the second.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say, what's up? Did you just start following us at Grappling Hour?
Me?
Yes.
Yes.
God damn it.
Bro, I didn't know I didn't even know you had a Facebook page.
Leave.
My bad.
You can get out now. I didn't know you had a Facebook page. I'm on I literally have spent time with you. What's up, Nathaniel? Good to see you back. We were just discovering I had a Judas on this broadcast the entire time here, just literally telling me he was my friend, but he couldn't find it in his heart to give us a like. You can even ignore us if you need to, but just give us a goddamn like on our Facebook.
I didn't know you had a Facebook page.
You didn't know. What do you mean you didn't know? You wouldn't think the person who works 12 different podcasts, doesn't take the opportunity to make social media for each of them? Bro, I have a goddamn TikTok and Snapchat that I don't even use just so that I fucking have it.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being a bad friend.
Thank you, Nathaniel. I got you fam as well because we're right here. What's up, Delaney 10P? I hope you're a better friend than our good friend G Baby. It's not G Baby isn't funny. G Baby isn't a friend is the name of his Instagram now.
I'm sorry, dog. Please don't ignore me when I go to LA.
I can't ignore you. There's no way I can. I think you know that. You know too many of the same people. What's up now? Delaney, so much. We just saw Jennifer Maya put together an amazing armbar from guard. Just chef's kiss. Wait,
Yeah,
you're on TikTok? Yeah, I'm on TikTok, though. If Trump take care of that today, I don't know that we'll have a TikTok anymore. But you know what was? So what it is I get the names. So that way I always have it. Because the last thing I want to do is in 30 years, if I didn't do the right thing, is hear that some 5-year-old owns the rights to Verbal Tap Cast because somebody years ago before us, what's up, Fernandez? Somebody years ago had Verbal Tap, and we were just going to be Verbal Tap as a podcast on all of our insignia. And then somebody had that. And we said, well, we're Verbal Tap Cast. Let's just go with that. And then we had people trying to like take our insignia. So now we actually own the websites for Verbal Tap and Verbal Tap Cast. So if you go to either of those, you go to our website. Suck it, people. And then you can also find us on like all of our social media. So yeah, I've gotten those, but I've had people send me messages on like Snapchat that I was like, oh shit, I have this. And it's like 2 months later and I go, oh, hey, sorry, dude. I don't really do this. So congrats. Thanks.
And it was just an unsolicited nude. Hey, dude. My bad, dude. I don't use this.
Yeah.
Wait, follow me on Instagram. Yeah, I don't use TikTok. Like I used it for like 2 days and I was like, it's not my thing.
Well, we had a friend say, get the name. And I said, that's a smart idea.
Yeah,
Then they said, oh, I don't think you would do well on TikTok. And I was like, fuck, we won't. And then afterwards, I was like, I don't want to do any more work.
Unless you want to do like a dance next to like Lana, then I doubt
I'll do a dance next to Lana.
Yeah, for real, right?
My wife won't like it. But you know what? You know what? That's not true. My wife has seen her. I think she'd be fine. What's up, Jose M. Mateus? Good to see you, bro. Thank you so much for joining.
Are we already on the main event?
Yeah.
Jesus.
What did she say? I want to fight champion. Valentina Shevchenko says, see you soon, Jennifer Maya. Good for her. That's awesome.
Do you think she'd be ready for...
No. Oh my God, this is so funny. I've just started seeing the Facebook comments on this are immaculate. It says,
Really?
I thought you guys said Maya didn't like going to the ground. I knew better than to count a Brazilian out. First of all, Megan Johnson, ouch. Second of all, Dane Donovan says disloyal punk. Megan then responds, kick him out, Raph. Disloyal little rat. Disappointing. G-Baby knows better than that. We need to sell G-Baby to the Taliban due to his disrespect. Well, listen, I don't know that we need to sell it to the Taliban because I'm not quite there. I like that Nathaniel says LOL. No. I'm not going to sell them to the Taliban because you know how hard it is to get them back once we were like, that was a funny joke, but hey, Taliban, give us them back. No? Shit. Sorry, bro. It was about a TikTok, though, so we're going to give you some shit now.
That's so funny.
Oh, man. See, this is why I love, like, honestly, you don't get this with regular podcasting. That's why you got to go live. When you go live, that's when you get the real people telling you, hey, fuck you, I don't like you, because that, my friends, is why we love this game.
For real, man. That was hilarious. Who was that? Megan?
So it was a combination. It was both Megan and Dane.
That was hilarious. Thank you, guys.
Dane was the one that wants to sell you to the Taliban, which, by the way, has informed me a lot about his friendship. Note to self, no rolling with Dane.
Bro, I love the United States too much.
You know what? I forgot to mention this. You don't threaten an immigrant with that.
Yeah, dude. I have an American flag mouth guard.
Man, I love that you are so prepared that even if they came to deport you in the middle of a roll, you'd be like, no, bro, look,
Dude,
I love
yeah.
America.
Dude, yeah, for real. USA #1.
Hey, can I tell you this? By the way, you're not Asian, so chill. I would tell you this. If you look at this, this reminded me why I was excited about the Dana White Contender Series. So we know some folks who are going to be on it, but I was more than excited to hear my good friend, and it's going to show you in a split second over here. So Jordan Levitt, who I just interviewed this week, boss, amazing human being. If you haven't gotten the chance to go check that interview out, go do it. Then check this next one out. If they show this next card for the Tuesday, August 11th card, I was watching this live here last week when they made an announcement, and I looked up there and it said, hey, Raph, guess what? Your friend Brady Wang is going to be on the August 11th Dana White's Contender Series. And I train with Brady, and I didn't know that. And I looked down, and granted, I don't train with him every day, but we're good enough. Wait, hold on. August 18th. Where the fuck's the 11th? Show me the goddamn 11th. Anyway, he's supposed to be on the 11th, and I looked down and I texted him, and I was watching this live, and I said, yo, Brady, you didn't tell me this. And he was like, tell you what. And I go, then you're fucking fighting on Dana White Contender Series. And he goes, oh, I guess the cat's out of the bag, bro. Thanks, man. It's just like, fuck off. This is amazing. So proud of you. And he's a fuck of a fighter, man. He's a really tough role. So I could not be happier with that man getting a shot.
For real. That's crazy. You know what's crazy is that Max Roskopf was going to fight on the Contender Series before he got called in early. And I was just like, oh, man, because I really like Max as a person, for sure. And as a fighter, too, man. He, like, for those who don't actually, like, watch MMA, like, in the, I think it was LFA, he was fighting him.
Titan FC,
Titan FC, yeah. He's such an exciting fighter to watch, and I feel like that fight that he took, I think 6 days notice or 10 days notice, didn't do him justice.
Yeah, it was more fun to watch. I know Max as well, and I like that kid. He's got a good head on his shoulders. Obviously, it was a tough decision to make. I didn't love the call made by Drysdale, but he was good with it. He's a coach, and he seemed to be good with it as well. So it was no disrespect to Max. I think he should be able to do that, especially, dude, that dude was down 2 fucking rounds on the scorecards. And I know there's no particular way to know that for sure, but why are you going to sustain any more damage in a sport where it's always after the fact that we looked at it and go, oops, who knew you got CTE in this round? Sorry.
If I was his manager and I saw the coach didn't allow it, I would have been so frustrated because they'd be like, dude, you ruined it. Like, in a way.
That's the problem. Is both the manager and Drysdale were in lockstep of saying we wanted him to continue fighting. And
because he has huge potential. Like, I feel like if he has a full training camp for this next fight, if you think he'll come back to the UFC?
I don't know that they would bring him back to the UFC for the performance, but I think if they did, it would be based off of the outpour. And I would rather it be for the outpour of it being fair than anything else, because you know what I know, which is that dude is a fucking beast. He's really, really talented. And I think he got a really rough shake. And I think that he found in that time he didn't want to be a fighter. The only thing that doesn't speak well to Dana is you say those words, it's like saying the retirement word around him, which is him going, nah, then you don't need to be here. So that's my only concern. But it would seem that after he did those interviews, and I think that's the part that kind of hurt me, is I was like, listen, dude, I get it. You know, you want to go out there, you feel bad for Drysdale because Drysdale stuck his neck out there for you, and totally understandable, man. Way to take it on the chin and do interviews that you don't need to do. But I would just prefer that, you know, if he really wants to come back and do his thing, give him a shot and let's see what happens.
Yeah, What's crazy is that he agreed to do a podcast after that fight, before that fight happened. And at that point I was like, I don't want to bother him during that time.
Yeah.
Cuz like mentally I understand. And it's heartbreaking because I know that's his dream. Like he literally moved to Vegas for that reason.
Yeah.
And I really hope he bounced back from it, but like I really hope he bounced back from it because I know the potential he has, and I know he's championship caliber once he has that experience.
I would also venture to say this, which is, if that's the case, and people are going to make up their opinion of him no matter what, and I totally understand that, the fight game is not a forgiving game. I would just like to remind people that this is a weird time in the UFC. Like, as much as I love that my friend Vince got a 2-day notice, that is almost a ridiculous uphill battle that for your real dream is almost impossible to overcome the odds. Dane Donovan's asking who we're talking about. So that's Max Rokshoff, who is the gentleman who was on the stool who quit in between the second and the third round, where he was down on the scorecards, and Robert Drysdale was famously trying to inspire him to get back in the cage. Now, my interpretation of that was going to be, listen, dude, your fighter tells you to quit, and you try a couple times, and after the third time, you're no longer a cheerleader. However, afterwards, Max made a public statement in support of Robert Drysdale. And I mean, most of this is where people know the story, but I just want to make sure we're accurate on the facts, which is then Drysdale was saying, hey, listen, I'm very much telling you guys I made the right call and I stand by it. Whereas I had a difference of opinion where I said, you know what? I would tell you this. I don't agree with what Drysdale was doing, or necessarily his full recap of the events, because I believe it's slightly skewed. And I would tell you that I'm glad that he didn't fight a third round. So at the end of the day, he didn't take that damage. But if we're talking about reactions, I don't think there's any shame for Max. If we're talking about Drysdale, I don't love the call, but I understand they have a close relationship. And if we're talking about the aftermath, it's that Max went on interviews and said, don't put anything on Drysdale. It's exactly what I would have wanted him to do.
So my opinion is that, okay, let's say like my relationship with Nate Harris is like really close, right? And he told me straight up, and like for real, if Nate was to go, hey, you can go another round, I would actually take that advice and just do it. Because from everyone, like my coach knows me best because of that relationship I have with him. And especially knowing how his relationship with Drysdale is basically, I don't know, but like I know that my relationship with Nate is really close. And for them, they have like a longer relationship than I have with Nate. Robert knows Max like the back of his hand of his potential. So I think in my opinion that Drysdale actually did a great call doing like, hey, you can do this. And when Max quit, I bet it really shocked Robert for sure.
Yeah. I just have a problem where at a certain point,
yeah.
No, I just think like, listen, dude, you can't repair something that's broken like that quickly. Like if that brain isn't firing and you've done your best and you figured out like, hey man, I don't have a winning answer right here. At the very beginning, when you look at the advice that Drysdale was giving him, it was like, hey man, go out there and wrestle him. And it was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, good idea. Because that was working really well in those rounds where I was trying to do that and I was absorbing those shots.
Yeah.
So then I said, okay, well, Drysdale doesn't have an answer for him either. Like he's at this point turning into a glorified cheerleader after the third, hey man, you can do it. And I think that you try that a couple times, and if it really is where the fighter is so mentally dejected where they don't have a game plan and you're not supplying them with that game plan, then it becomes, okay, then we need to go ahead and call this, because clearly he's just going to go in there to get hurt. And even if he's going to come in retroactively and absolve me of any responsibility to it, I, as a coach, have not provided him with the solution. And I think that's where I said, yeah, all these things combined, whatever. But to me, at a certain point, even if they know him that well, and you see it there, and you see that, I think Drysdale was trying to say afterwards, he said, I called the fight at the end, kind of a thing. And it was like, no, the adjudicator came over and he said, hey, is he ready to go? Because he saw that he was still letting it go for as long as possible.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
even if he wants to say it was a vet move to let the clock run out, okay, cool, but you didn't call it. It was then Max saying like, no, and then Robert saying like, oh yeah, he doesn't want to go now. That's not how you call something. That is a after the fact revisionist version of it. So that's the part where I said, listen, I get it, Drysdale. Stand behind your call. Give us your interpretation. But we all saw it, and we all know what happened. And now it becomes a matter of, do you make that call and do you agree with it or not? And on all of those accounts, I was like, hey, listen, Drysdale, you're a legend in your own right. You are a coach. You are his coach. I just don't agree on that one.
That's a good argument. That actually, with that perspective, I was like, okay, like you got me on that one for sure.
Well, it's
Like
not even
that.
getting you. It's just it was the turn of events that I saw, where I saw a lot of people coming in and having perspectives about it, and I could understand a multitude of perspectives, and I could understand people wanting to have interpretations of it. But what made me truly angry about it was saying like, man, there's no win for him. There's no win where he looks good in this. There's no, hey man, maybe they're going to bring you back. Like, it looked so cruelly negative that I just said, man, this is how we get those people that we look at in the future and say, what happened to them? Like, that's how it happens, guys. So you can't be both hyper concerned about these things and in the future, when you look back at it hindsight and then see it happening before you and go, I don't know how that happened. I don't know how that would ever come down to that. So that's why, to me, it really bugged me to a sense of, man, when I saw him have to eat crow on those shows, I just thought, much like you, I would have loved to have reached out to him and sent him a note. And I did send him a note. I sent him a note and just said, hey man, listen, you know you better than anything. And he saw it, and I left it at that. But I wanted to make sure that the hardest part for any fighter is that very silent moment when you lose. And people, they tell you, you'll know who's in your corner.
Yep.
And for me, I'm like, bro, I don't want to interview you now. You know, like you and I will cross paths again. I feel that sincerely in my bones, because even if he figures out he doesn't want to do MMA anymore, and I think he should stick to MMA if that's truly what he wants to do, but he could still be a great MMA talent, but he's already an amazing jiu-jitsu talent. So that's the part that people who I knew, who I was introducing him to, I was like, yo, check these clips out. Like, watch him. He slept fucking Ethan Krellinston, man. That's one of the most difficult people in all of grappling right now to contend with.
Have you seen that Ruben Rivera called him out for a rematch?
I did.
I actually would love to see that. I actually called that match, and I want to see that again for sure. It was very entertaining, and I feel like it was an awesome fight. And I feel like for jiu-jitsu, it would be a great way for Max to come back.
I think Max has a real shot at being a jiu-jitsu guy. I always thought that. I was high on him. I thought he was doing some great grappling in MMA. And I think that's the hard part that people don't get is like, yeah, maybe we can't make as big a stars in grappling as we do in MMA. But man, that kid has talent. He has a lot of high grappling IQ. And, you know, if we brought him back, I would have zero issue with that. I would love to see him come back, crush it, be a beast, and you know, change some minds.
Yeah, for real.
And the hard part is Ruben is not a fucking easy role either. And if they've already gone the distance the first time on a sub-only match, then that's all the more intriguing for us to see. So it has a lot of really good components to it.
I rolled with Ruben before, and he made me feel like a 5-year-old man.
Ruben's top control when he does knee on belly is very interesting. He did a seminar once that I got to be a part of, and just feeling it kind of be in that section with his composure and his stature. I said, man, this is, if we were really rolling, this would be a lot to contend with. So I have a lot of respect. Or Hubin, if you may.
Ruben Rivera.
But I'm glad that you were able to give that one the call, man. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, it was probably the biggest gig of my life for sure. And without that, I wouldn't have met Nate.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What a telling moment in your life. That's the moment when we go back into your romantic comedy where it's like, oh, I dropped this acai. Did we just fall in love? Moment.
Yeah, bro. Nate is the big older brother that I've always wanted for sure.
That's really good. Yeah, Nate's hilarious. I like that. What was it? I forgot one of our last exchanges is like Nate and I exchange a series of notes on something that made me really laugh because every once in a while he'll send me something that we both. Oh, that's what it is. I think it was. Yeah, we actually disagreed on the Max call, and we exchanged words about it. And I said, you know what it was? He thought that I was maybe I had misread him or that I was mad at him. I was like, no. I was like, no, I can just speak to you honestly. We're now at the top of Brunson and Shabzarian, and very exciting 3 rounds on this one, everybody.
This fight makes me nervous because I always love a new like a prospect winning, but I also love like a guy that I always love an underdog and I always love a prospect. Like
Megan Johnson is on her shit every single time she is asking the question. I'm going with Derek Brunson on this one. How about you guys? I'm going to ask you, G baby, who do you got on this one?
Shabazian.
You got Shabazian on this one? It's tough because I've seen Shabazian fight live. I've covered a couple of his fights here out locally, and he's interesting, man. I don't know. This one's tough for me. I would love to have your sense of wonderment for going for a new prospect as well. I'm just leaning a little bit more Brunson on this one.
So I like Shabazian's way. Like he is a great striker. Of course, he probably has a really disgusting judo background just for one. Ronda Rousey, Carl Parisian, then you have like was Manny Gamburian, probably like trained with him since he was young. I actually like seeing I used to love watching Carl Parisian fight, especially when that fight against Nick Diaz, which is a historical fight in the MMA history for sure. And I just want to see Emin I forgot his last name anyways. I would like to see him actually bounce back because I know people talk shit about him, about his coaching ability, and I want this prospect to actually bring that back because I don't really wish – yeah, Coach Edmond. I don't wish bad for anyone that wants to like –
Ooh, nice elbows there, but it doesn't look like Brunson is going to continue on this takedown. Yeah. Now you're seeing a back exposed. I don't know how much he's doing that, but he's trying to isolate the arms – for a split second. He has to be very, very cautious with his weight distribution here. The more weight he can put on him, the more Shabzarian is going to have to carry his weight the entire time. Now, this is interesting. I don't love where his chest is in relation. What's up, Andrew? Thank you very much for joining us right now. The chest not fully being chest to chest on the back was enough to let him get back up. And now the both of them are returning back to the center of the octagon.
I don't know if you saw that, but Shabazian left like a right hook on Brunson, and it was just ridiculous.
You just saw it right there. So far, so good on it, though. And again, what's important to note for Shabzarian is that as he's doing it, he's looking very composed. From being in danger just a couple seconds ago, he doesn't look like he had to give up too much there. Dane Donovan just said head movement. And Dane Donovan also said G-Baby is a hardcore. I like it.
Appreciate that.
How quickly they've come back to your side, sir. All right. They wait for the nut kick again. They exchange. 138 left to go in this first round. Some punches to the body, but it does look like Brunson's form is maybe just a little bit less as composed as it was a second ago. Great head movement by one Brunson, which is followed up by Shabzarian and his movement as well. Oof. Nice knee over there. Brunson kind of eats it again. This is honestly, I feel like if Brunson had a better answer for keeping his weight down while he was in that turtle position, I think that this fight would be a lot more lopsided in his favor. But instead, he's having to do this grind against the cage that doesn't give you as much composure, again, especially against somebody who fights against the people that he's fought against. When you mentioned the judo background and the possibility of being that kind of an expert, they eat that kind of pressure like nothing.
For real. I like that whole Melvin Gillard-esque vibe that Brunson brings to this octagon for sure.
Melvin 100% is in spirit form here in that hair. Also given a nice acknowledgement of the movie Meteor Man, which more people know from a haircut than an actual watching of that movie.
Yeah. And the first round ended.
Yep, first round now comes to a close, and both gentlemen go back to their corners. And Herb Dean is getting no one yelling at him for a change tonight.
What was your opinion on that?
I don't care. And here's what I think is interesting. I didn't care as much about it. I don't think you should ever put hands on a referee. I think having a stern talking to is, of all things, one of the least, like, oh man, this is crazy sort of a thing to see. Dana's hardline stance, I understand. And I could understand protecting the safety of the referees so that they never get hurt. But when Dana said he would fire someone on cue, I said, all right, that's interesting. I've seen Connor go up and it cost some reps before. Interesting. And then I thought more importantly on that perspective, which was, would that have just been swept under the rug if he didn't get up and do it? Yeah, people feel a certain way about it, but that doesn't necessarily change things. What's up, Lights Out? Y'all watching this fight? I know you guys are watching this fight for sure. Pretty good first round thus far in. So I don't know, man. I would say from a protective angle, I like that he's looking out for the referees. But from another angle, a part of me thought like, yeah, Herb, you missed on that one. That dude was out. Anytime someone does the Sanford and Son, like, and then punches the sky, I go, that dude has been knocked out.
And, you know, the thing is, like, I was listening to the Anik Florian podcast, and Ray Longo was giving his, like, 2 cents, and it's true. Like, I agree 100%. That call was bad, but then in his perspective, Herb Dean was actually behind the fighter when he got knocked out, and it looks like the guy was standing up, so you wouldn't know if you were standing behind him. But in our camera perspective, he was knocked out for sure. And to tell you the truth, if Herb Dean was to referee most of the fights, most fighters would feel safe in my perspective. And I had the pleasure of sitting next to Herb Dean, explain the rules, very professional, great referee. And I would choose him 100% other than John McCarthy, because John McCarthy is an OG as well. Back call Herb Dean, but I would still have Herb Dean referee most of the UFC fights.
I would tell you this. I love Herb as well, and I think that he is on a percentage one of the more accurate ones. I mean, we've seen the memes where if he dies, he dies. But for the most part, I'm like, no, if Herb's doing it, I have no real big issue on it. I just thought on this call, I was like, yo, bro, you can defend what you want. It's sort of the same thing with the Drysdale thing where I'm like, listen, I'm not going to hate you, but I'm also not going to lie to your face and be like, you're right, just because I like you. It's like, no, bro, he was out. And I get the background angle. That's an interesting argument, except for the fact that, no, he punched the air.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's watch that again. If you tell me that he punched the air and you thought that he was defending himself well, the air was really, really in trouble in that one. So, but
unless he was fighting COVID for sure.
Yeah, that's that's actually the best explanation I've heard of it thus far in. If Herb would have come up to me and explained that he was fighting COVID when he punched the air, I probably would have been like, fair game. All right, I'm not yelling at you. And I think Dan Hardy would have also have said the same. Yeah, I thought this whole thing of making a big to-do of Dan Hardy and the fact that Dana didn't say anything to him, and Dana's like, I'm making this here rule right now. Nobody ever goes up to a ref. You don't put hands on them. You just don't. I go, it's kind of like when Trump does the like, I'm a law and order president. Law and order. I love law and order. Is like, yeah, I get you, dude. You're trying to say that you are in favor of the refs, which I think should be a universal thing. We should be making sure the refs are protected. But I think he grouped it in that same category, which, by the way, good exchange here, of the one referee, I think it was Mark Goodard, actually, that was getting pushed around by the fighter who refused to release the rear naked choke. And I go, yeah, that's not the same thing.
Oh, man.
Dane Donovan saying, Steve Mazzagatti. I think Steve Mazzagatti collects carts at Whole Foods now. I mean, he does it with the heart symbol now. We learned this earlier this evening. There we go, heart. And then somebody, I think it was Dane, he asked, excuse me, only 3 rounds. And yes, it is only 3 rounds because you want to take that one again, sir?
So Ronda Rousey was she actually just talked to Dana saying, hey, this main event was actually short notice. This was originally supposed to be a Holly Holm main event, 5 rounds, but Shabazian's not ready for a 3-round fight.
Yeah.
And so they got that main event for 3 rounds. And I think it's the first 3-round main event before Michael Bisping versus Chun Li.
As we're talking right now, I want to talk about the head movement I don't like seeing right now, which is Shabzayan, who's now starting to move with his hands down, and it's a little more loose. It's that kind of like on Dream Street loose that makes me a little bit nervous. And you're seeing Brunson start to tee off on him. Now, Brunson's almost tricking.
The pressure.
Brunson's also starting to put a little bit of not just the pressure on it, but is just wearing him down. And watching one Edmund just fall to the ground like a sack of potatoes makes me a little nervous. Like, look at how his hands are a little less life in them, and look at the position that Brunson's in that allows him to work. I am seeing Edmund look like he's taking in some deep breaths here, and it makes me very concerned. That head not moving up is making me think they could call this in a very short amount of time. Now he's starting to wow off on him. He's tried in for a rear naked choke, drops an elbow or two. Herb is starting to move around and pace and see like he wants to maybe go ahead and cut on in. There's 36 seconds left to go in the second round. A second round that could possibly, if it gets to a third, give one Edmund some ability to recover. And I don't know how he would feel going into this third one. Dane Donovan says, oh, wow. I'm saying, yikes. Meanwhile, 17 seconds here. Still got some time to go. He might live to see this third round just yet.
Wow, but in that last 2 seconds, though, dude, it looked really bad. Yeah. Don't be surprised if he doesn't go through this third round.
Well, I mean, he's doing the due diligence of trying to get up, and his corner very quickly whipping him over.
That's a rough one.
Ugh.
But that goes to show, man, there's levels to this, and Brunson's the veteran for sure.
Yep. Well, Megan, you're looking pretty good right now.
Sorry, Megan. Cancel me. My bad.
Megan is a forgiving person. And you're seeing, hey, listen, a testament to Herb Dean right on top of it, over in the corner, double checking to make sure that Edmund has some life in him right now.
It looked really bad. Like at that last, 2 punches, bro. Like it looked like it rocked him.
Yeah. But I mean, just again.
Dude, he's standing up.
Yeah.
That's a rough one. If you were the referee there, would you keep it going? Or the inspector?
Well, no, this is the right call to have the inspector come on over. Whew. Yeah, this one's tough, guys. I don't know. With his reactions, I don't like the way he's talking right now, but he has given just enough life into his yes responses. Now we get into the real response of, does he have an answer for Derek Brunson? And will he still be okay?
Brunson's a beast, man.
His body's coming back a little bit more energy here, so that's good. Brunson has a gas tank for round 3. Yeah. Megan says, LOL, no worries, G baby. And Brunson right on back on top of things. Jesus Christ, lays him down like he's trying to put him to sleep, and it does not. Yeah, Herb does not need to see any more at this point.
Damn, Brunson won that. Whoever bet on him won money, bro.
Yeah. I mean, Edmund looked good in the first round. Brunson he's a very consistent person, and I think he was able to punch through and really test Edmund. And hey, listen, it says if Derek Brunson could have been just a little more active a little earlier, that fight could have been stopped 30 seconds earlier. Probably
for sure. I agree to that. But I think it was just testing the waters. I think any veteran fighter that would agree to that, like just testing the waters, see where it goes. I feel like that's some like Mayweather strategy for sure.
All right, we get some cheers to make up on this one. So we have to do a cheers for Maya. So Jennifer Maya, I guess I'll take that one.
All right, sounds good.
This cheers goes out to you, Jennifer Maya. First of all, who are you to do an armbar from guard? Get out. Who does that anymore? That was spectacular. And I want to really, really give you credit for keeping that grip on that elbow. So many people lose that. I lose that all the time. But huge respect to you. I just was not just shocked, but so amazed by what you did. That is an amazing textbook. We teach people from day one how to do it armbar that I think is one of the hardest things to finish, and you did it in the UFC and against a tough competitor. Cheers to you, David.
Cheers.
Jennifer Maya. Great stuff. All right. I'm going to have you now do the toast to one Derek Brunson.
Derek Brunson, cheers to you for being an underdog from an underdog that actually counted you out, which usually I would actually root for the underdog. And to tell you the truth, you prove time and time again that old man strength is a thing, and you could have finished him earlier, but you test your waters like the veteran that you are. Cheers to you, my friend.
Cheers. Look at that good toast. So let me get this straight. We started at what time today? 4:15.
4:15.
It's 8:16. We saw 8 fights tonight. This is great. I can do these forever.
For real.
It's when like most people don't know the exchange that happens. Like, I'm sure they assume it. But when I say, listen, how long do you want to show up for? And you go, I'm here as long as you want. I go, well, that's problematic on this kind of a show. Because for all we know, we could be here till tomorrow.
Yeah, for real. I was like, dude, I literally had my schedule emptied out to be on this show tonight. And I wanted to be like the whole time with you on this show. If you had another guest, I would have been more than happy to bring on another one with you here.
Well, the hard part is now they're coming so fast and the furious, and with the Dana White Contender Series coming on, we may do some of those. Especially if my buddy Brady's fighting. I know Jordan Levitt's fighting on that one as well. So there's never a shortage of these. It's just a matter of some days I'm like, no, I'll go solo. And then some days I'm like, nah, I want a full squad. And this is one where I was like, when you said you were going to clear it out, I was really, really happy to say like, yeah, you know what? You deserve a full show here. You deserve to get the full thing because you, like me, very much enjoy doing the commentary and getting those reps in. And this is really a good way to do it because who knows, dude, for as long as we may not have audiences or major grappling events or even MMA fights that we can commentate, those skills get real rusty real quick.
For real. And I appreciate you having me on, brother.
Absolutely. Let's do some recaps on where people can find you, sir. I need you to be in the Instagram because as we sign off, I'm seeing your closet door.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, my bad, dude.
It's fine. It doesn't hurt me at all. It says too much too soon for Edmund. Maybe. Derek Brunson, though, let's actually do this recap of what he's saying. He's given his props to his Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. So there we go. He has 12 wins by knockout with a 21-7 record. Dane Donovan says, cheers to G Baby. Don't give him a plug. I can't do that. Like, that's not a way I do this show. That would really require me to dislike the guest. So now they're starting to ask him about the elbows and the kind of way he finished in the first round. And he's like, yeah, I cut him with the elbow because he could hear his corner making those notes. And he was listening to his corner, and that's how he was able to do it. Yeah, just textbook, literally lying him down in the most, like, nice way possible, honestly.
For real.
Paul Felder's asking, how soon do you want to get back in there? And now they have put Derek Brunson. What's up, Andrew Alexander? I'm looking forward to doing our interview on Tuesday. By the way, Andrew Alexander will be on the Grappling Hour on Tuesday at, did we say 2:30? Tuesday. Just look for the promo. I'll do something. But very much looking forward to talking with him. Gian is the most lovable Persian rug salesman I have ever met. Well, okay. Guys, I don't know if I could allow that one. First of all, he hasn't offered me a rug if he was a rug salesman. So that's how we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Angel.
If you saw my picture when I was 18, I looked like a Persian rug salesman just because of how thin my eyebrows were, and I didn't have any facial hair whatsoever, bro.
Yeah, I mean, the weird part is some of the like old photos that you put of yourself look like you have Eddie Murphy playing you in terms of like how different you look from then to now. And like now, you know, this and this, you got a whole little different swag about you. So let us do. Wait, Dane, you can't tell me to not let the guy plug and then say, give the man a plug. Make up your goddamn mind. I will let him have a plug because it's my show. So continue on, sir. Plug your stuff.
For those of you guys, by the way, thank you for your support, for being on the show and giving me support too. You can follow me on G Baby Is Not Funny on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. You can find my podcast, Cover Your Mouth by Gian Carlo. You can find Nasty and the Baby with me and Nasty Nate Harris. And you can actually find my new podcast called Unemployed Commentators, the audio version only, but you can also be on the lookout for this Wednesday. It will be the YouTube version out this Wednesday with my friend Gary Miller. And yeah, thank you. Thank you guys for listening.
Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to remind you guys, if you are not following us at Grappling Hour, do so. Fix that. Let's go ahead and get you guys following us at Grappling Hour on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, all of those ones. Give us a follow, give us a like, whatever it is. I don't really care. We just love that it's support. We also have very important interviews this week. In addition to Andrew Alexander, I'm going to break this news right now. We will have JT Torres on Monday at 7 a.m. Pacific time.
Boricua.
Yep,
Awesome.
7 a.m. is great time for me here on the West Coast. But when JT Torres, a two-time ADCC winner, says, let's do it at that time, you say, okay, cool. So watch me on Monday at 7 a.m. with a shit ton of coffee in my system, asking JT Torres, like, did you hear Gary Tonon's call out? Or JT Torres, how you so fly? And much more. Plus, Andrew Alexander, that's going to be Tuesday. Make sure to watch that along. We're going to have even more coverage throughout the week. We may be back on, I think, Tuesday night for the Dana White Contender Series. That is TBA. We will have more information as that news becomes available. And new episodes of Verbal Tap always available. Give us a follow on all Verbal Tap platforms. Listen, same thing. Instagram, Facebook. If you're watching on Instagram and you're not following us, first off, fuck off. Second of all, I would say this. Give us a subscription on all of our YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, all of that. Facebook, Indeed, YouTube, Verbal Tapcast. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening. My name is Rafa Sparza. It has been a great day for grappling. We'll see you back on the mats.